Greetings, fellow traders. Bubblehead here, and it's time for the daily market wrap for Friday, March 27, 2020. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. Well, let's check and see where we left off in the market. So we still we had a rough day, right? Finished down 88 points, and so we closed down below the 50 monthly moving average. So, but we're not done yet. There was still a couple days left in the month for this candle to close, but we were above it for a little bit. Things were looking good, and then they reversed at the end of the day. I think the Fed is reducing some repo operations, and who knows, maybe they sold the news on that stimulus package. But either way, we're still below it. But I mean, ultimately, the real thing is, stimulus package, Fed, whatever, right? The whole point is we need to get some recoveries, right? And we've got Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of UK, is got Corona. I mean, it's we need people to start recovering. We need some good news on this stuff to really start coming out, right? So so again, until that really happens, right, we may stay below this 50 monthly moving average. But let's see how we finish off of the week. We did finish okay on the week. Big spinning top, bullish engulfing candle this week. So there is some potential to get above this next week and continue the way up. We are above the December 2018 lows, so that's a good thing. Daily chart, again, not to be unexpected, right? Big range yesterday, right? So a 136 point range. I mean, today's still a pretty big range. To say today's a narrow range day, right, is like, I mean, it's almost a 100-point day today. So, but look what we did. We stayed below the macro trend line right here. Not surprised to see that gap down off of that, right? We've been seeing a lot of inverse moves, right? We're down one day, we're up the next day. We're up one day, we're down the next day. We're down this day, we're up the next day. So we're seeing a lot of these kind of reversal patterns here. There's inverse movement pattern. It's just something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at SPY and see how that did today. So we had some good trades on SPY today. This was a nice opportunity here. Let's take a look here intraday. So you can see here, right, we got real tight here, right, had a nice breakout move there, right, and then we finally got above the 15 orb here for another move up, retagged the 15 orb for another move upside, which was good. S&P futures, right, still kind of ticking around right here, but this was the move right here after we broke out there. So that big flush to the downside right there at the end of the day. So thought there might be more in it, but it couldn't quite get to the 15 orb low. So let's see if that's a good sign. And then the MES here. So a couple of nice entries here on the way down that we pointed out in the group, and and also some ones that were that good down there, right? But a nice move down here from the highs, right? So that push really high up on the news, right? It looked like it was just going to go on forever, and usually when you think it's like, oh wow, this thing's going to keep going, usually that's when they reverse it, right? So same thing down here, right? So that's something to keep an eye on too. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at Apple. See how that finished today. Again, pretty rough on Apple. Apple almost led the market down today, so it was a little bit weaker. It closed below its 15 orb down. It was one of the first ones to really start going at the end of the day. It kind of did that the other day as well. Tesla hung out pretty well actually today, so it stayed within its that channel that we looked at yesterday, and let's see how it's looking here today. Finished green today. It's still below the macro trend line right there, so it's got some work to do, but it finished pretty strong over its 15 orb, so that's something good there. Also filled that aftermarket gap right there too, so that's something to keep an eye on there for next week. Boeing, all right, hung out within its 15 orb range today. Pretty choppy day today. It's actually had just a lot of gappy, choppy days recently, right? So it's gap up, chop, gap up. I know pretty big ranges, but gap up, chop, and then just kind of today was like kind of a gap down, chop type day. So that was right at the macro trend line on Boeing. Netflix had some strength today, right? Had a pullback, which we pointed out, and they pointed out earlier, and then tried to make another move for it and couldn't do it. Big upper shadow at the daily cloud right there, GLD, let's see how gold is doing. So gold's just kind of chopping around up here. Let's look at the VIX. VIX is still hanging out, guys. So this is one that makes it really hard to really do anything, but especially swinging long when the VIX is hanging out over its 8-day moving average and in the 60s, right? So it's still hanging out up here, guys. That means we're, really what it's saying is we're not out of the woods yet on this Corona stuff. So that's really what we're looking at. The main thing that we're kind of eyeing here before we're ready to see like a real rally in this market. So until this thing can come back down and calm down a little bit, right, we'll keep that volatility is still going to be in there each day. So I hope everybody had a great week this week. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend rest. Stay healthy, and we'll see you guys Sunday night on the free YouTube live stream. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.